to Open Qualifiers Round 1. My name is Retro, and tonight we have a banging match here coming up between Team HILUX and Team EKO Esports. This is a really, really interesting match between these two teams, because if you are not aware of these teams, Team HILUX had already competed in the Season 1 Open Quals that they lost due to forfeit. However, that was a completely different roster. Back then, they had a completely different roster. They've completely rebuilt it in the past few weeks to a month. So now they have a completely new roster with a lot of potential, and this is their first actual competitive game. They've been scrimming a lot, so this is going to be really interesting to see how they actually turn out. EKO Esports, on the other hand, has had a very solid base as far as their team goes. They've had this roster for quite some time. They've had it for about 2 months. But this is their first time competing in Revival. They've been competing in other leagues. I think they might be one of the teams that had been absorbed from Relentless. It might not be. I might be wrong about that. But in any case, it's the first time they're competing in this league. So this is just going to be a completely wild match between these two teams, and I think that we can already tell that just from the bans that we've seen so far. We are playing Oregon. And the bans that have come out already are Nomad and Flores on attack, and then Azami and Valkyrie on defense. Now, none of these bans are really all that surprising, or if you're looking at them, you're thinking, oh, where's the Thatcher, where's the Jackal, if you're not really that well-versed into comp. But they are actually very, very solid bans, and very common bans on this map. Of course, the Nomad ban is a little bit peculiar. It's, I think, the only peculiar one out of these ones, because although banning her when you are defending first, which Team HILUX is, allows you a lot more versatility and a lot more roaming presence, because, of course, you don't have to worry about those air jabs going off at random times, and then you get caught out on trying to rotate back the side, or even trying to go for a flank. That ban can come to hurt you in the second half. So when you're doing a ban like that you're also going to have to come up against, you better make sure that you have a strong enough lead on your defensive half so that when you get to the attack, that isn't a problem for you. The Valkyrie ban, I mean, she's just really, really strong. She used to be way stronger on this map before, when her cameras could be placed outside. She could see the entire map from certain points, and that made it really, really annoying. But even with the nerf that came to her a couple of years ago, she's still really, really strong. Of course, she can have so much intel on the entire attacking team, and it can make it really, really difficult to really do anything, to even take your opponents by surprise, or to even go for a plant, because, if she can see you on the cam, toss a C4 up there, and not much that you can do against that. Flores and Azami, I think both are bans more targeting the basement side. Of course, Azami can make a lot of lines of sight and can block a lot of lines of sight, and can block a lot of entries, and Flores can, of course, stop her in doing that, so they're sort of a tandem ban. If one of them goes out, the other one has to as well. But a minute is already gone. Team HILUX is doing a very, very spread out roam. I don't know if you've noticed, but they are defending the basement site, and their roam so far is not working out, as Fear is the first one to go out all the way on top floor to Tigo, who is playing the Gridlock, of course, having to substitute the Nomad ban with the Gridlock. The rest of the team are all upstairs as far as the attackers go. And the defenders will be having to pull back from this very extended round that they've done, especially now that we're hitting that sort of 90-second mark. They now have the ability to go down there and leave these places unattended, seeing as they've wasted enough time. But it doesn't look like they're going to be doing that, and they're sort of just waiting for someone to push or someone to hit, and it's Axile to go first. There goes Toma. And now in a 3 versus 5, Team HILUX have to do everything in their power to stop this attack from succeeding. Sudsy here stuck on the pillar. Doom is there to help. There is an Iana with the nade going down from the rear stage. I think that will be caught by ADS. It was not caught by an ADS, but Sudsy does get away with his life. 50 seconds left to go. They have all of the cover that they need. They have all of the angles covered. They will be pushing down freezer stairs, the main hatch, and those rear stairs. There goes Pixel to get 2, and it's all down to Philo now inside of Freezer. Shotgun in hand, he might be able to get 1. Can he get all 5 of them? He does get 1. There goes the down. There goes the finisher. Can't quite catch the Ash. The plant is going down inside of sight. Runs, but can't switch to the other weapon. And it's EKO Esports to win the first round of this match. Now, that was a really, really well-executed attack from EKO. But it also was a little bit, I think HILUX overextended a little bit. You definitely want to have that extension. You want to be roaming when you're defending that site, but also you don't want to have pretty much your entire team. I think at one point they had only 2 people actually playing inside of site.
Attackers need to
it was the EKO
as many bombs as they can.
And the Warden. They were the only people playing inside of a site. Everybody else was roaming. The Jaeger got caught off right away, and then they just sort of lost their gunfights at all the other points in time. I'm not sure how the Warden died. I think it might have been just a pre-fire through the wall from the Iana from those backstairs, and then came the kill onto the EKO as well. So hopefully this time, when it comes to those ones, they will actually be able to win those out, because obviously that's where a lot of those issues lie for them at the moment, is just not being able to win those ones. And we saw that yesterday happening with Oblivion, where for quite a while they weren't able to win those gunfights, and as soon as they started warming up, they were able to take the match no problem. So maybe that happens to HILUX here as well. But in any case, they will be going back downstairs to defend. They're bringing pretty much the exact same lineup, and they are doing the same exact roam. This time, Pixel, instead of the Iana, will be playing the Nook, who, of course, without the Valkyrie, can do a lot of damage, because there's a lot fewer places for her to get spot out at. But it's actually Fear to get the opening kill onto the Nook inside of main lobby. That was, I think he might have been hiding in a classroom, perhaps, to get that early kill. But either way, that is really, really good. He does drop all the way back down away to site, joining Sledzy. And I think that they're the only people on site. This time, the EKO has decided to go for the roam as well. They don't really have an active elbow hold the way that, a lot of teams tend to have with smoke, but they do still have that shield, and they have those ADSs. It's Fear with another kill onto Exile. That is really, really good to get that man advantage going on even further, and that's now both of the sets of nades gone from the side of EKO. It's Sledzy to pick up the next one, and that's exactly what I was talking about. As soon as those guns start warming up, that is when HILUX are really looking good, especially on a site like Basement that is very, very defender-sided, and is preferred by a lot of teams as that primary defensive site. So it is this is exactly what you'd expect to see from a defensive team playing inside of Basement. Now, with only 2 of them left to go, they don't have any soft or hard breach left at their disposal, so they will not be opening up any walls. They will not opening up even those hatches. They do have all 4 of those Candelas, which could cause some issues, but the Warden is still on the board, and I don't think that those ADSs have been shot out as of yet, so they also could be catching a few of those Candelas and deny any advantages they could be gaining with that. They do have all 3 of the Thatcher's EMPs, so they could maybe disable some of those ADSs, but of course, the more utility that they deploy, the more that they're giving themselves away as far as where they're coming from and as far as what they're doing. So this is going to be a really tough situation, especially as time is dwindling down, and now even more so when Tiga goes down to Sledzy. That's the Warden on Ying action, and now it's all down to Psych inside of, or at the bottom of these laundry stairs. 1 versus 5 in a similar situation that Philo found himself last round. And there goes the peak from the closet. Sledzy with another kill and a flawless round on the board for HILUX. That is a really, really good round, and I think that I was spot on as far as what they needed to fix. They did the exact same roam, except this time they were a little bit more engaging. Last time you could see they were sort of just holding their angles. They were very, very passive, and that made it so that they could get swung on. And I think this time they were the ones that did the swinging. And of course, if you know anything about Siege, you know that it's very much a case of swing or be swung. And, HILUX got swung on, and they were like, well, let's start swinging, and it got them the round. So now they're going all the way upstairs, top floor. It's dorms and games. Or dorms and kids, because, yeah, it's dorms and kids. I don't know why I got so confused for a moment. Anyway, it's dorms and kids. They are going for pretty much the exact same lineup, except they are foregoing the alibi for the Goyo. And of course, the Goyo can deny so much time. Those Goyo canisters, when deployed, they waste something like 20 to 30 seconds per round, or per canister, which is a lot of time to all of a sudden not have if you're on attack, especially if it takes you a little bit longer to execute for the wall opening. That could really be an issue. And I find it really, really interesting that Duminsky, the EKO, is bringing the EKO with the shotgun. I think that is a loadout that has become recently very favorable by a lot of players, just because, that shotgun is not the best shotgun in the game by any margin, but having the shotgun plus the bearing 9, which of course with some of the new barrel attachments and, quite a reduced recoil, can be really, really strong to have in your pocket. It's sort of like, a double magged SMG-11 in a lot of cases because it has more bullets. So it's by any means not a bad loadout to bring. Sudsy here playing on this shield inside of Trophy. They are trying to clear him out quite a bit with the flashes and the grenades. There goes the shield. He's sort of stuck inside of Trophy. He's not pulling back just yet. There goes the first kill. Fear again onto Pixel. That is a really, really good first opening. And again, those grenades are now gone. I'm not sure if Liana had used any of those nades. I think she was rappelling up to the armory window the last time that we saw her. I know that the Sledge had used one. I'm not sure about the Iana. So there go the nades. And there go the other nade as Fear takes another kill onto Tigo, sorry. Picks up Fear finally, but not before he already took 2 of his teammates down. They are trying to Maverick into Attic. Coma down below, I think he's waiting with a C4 to toss up. Oh, actually, the C4 has already been tossed up. I think it might be pre-placed. And of course, you can hear those Vulcan canisters getting shot at and stalling even more time. Sledzy with the kill onto the Habana, so now any of those breaches might not get to be opened up. I'm not sure if they were opened up, and exactly as I was saying, Coma, I think, might have used this C4 to open up that hole, and then was perfectly capable of just shooting the Maverick through those holes. It's all down to Tigo, diffuser in hand, only one set of track stingers left inside a pocket. Coma will be rotating all the way around the small tower to maybe go for a jump out on those windows. And I think this is a moment where EKO Esports are just taking the moment to talk about their attacks, how they're going to proceed about this. And in the situation, there's really no point trying to just sort of jump in and see if you can find 4 kills. It's very, very difficult, and most of the time it is just a death trap, as you can see what they've set up for him. He does get 1 through the wall, gets the second on the peak. It's a 3K for him. He'll have to ace to win it, but it's Duminsky with the EKO shotgun underneath the window, prone to get the final kill. And there was also Coma down below, shooting through those vertical holes up on the window. He stood no chance. But yeah, I think that was a moment where EKO decided to take a timeout without taking a timeout, where, they slow it down. It's okay, you're in a 1v4, most likely not going to win that. Let's just talk about, what are we going to do next round? Okay, this one didn't work out. They're probably going to go either kitchen meeting or kitchen dining. Let's talk about what we're going to do there, how we're going to go for that. That's typically what teams like to do when it's a situation like that, where it's like pretty much unwinnable, especially if you have time, which they did. They had about 40 seconds when he was left alone. So that's more than enough time for them to, sort of take 15, 20 seconds to discuss, and then, you have 15 seconds left to go. Try something. It might work. It probably won't. It's done. But yeah, they will be going for the kitchen meeting defense, which it does tend to be a lot more preferable by a lot of teams. And we do see Philo bring in the frost mats. If you were there yesterday in the stream, we saw those frost mats take quite a few lives And I wonder whether that's going to be the same situation here. They will be foregoing almost all of those nade sets that they brought last time for a Dokebi and the Ossa instead. And I think the Ossa might be the one to jump into the window. Might be the one to jump into the frost mat. Not because of anything that Psych has done, but just because that's the way that it tends to be in Siege. I think that shield players in general tend to get a little bit tunnel visioned, and they're the ones that are most likely to get caught by traps. But, you know, those traps also could get drowned out, and EKO could just shoot them out and not allow HILUX to gain any advantage from them. It will be a push into Attic. They will be opening up this wall. Coma getting pushed away from where he was sitting inside of the pit with a shield. I'm not sure why they're not going for the wall just yet. They placed the exothermic charge on it. I think they're just trying to drone out everything, make sure that they're actually safe to go for this breach before they go for it. Meanwhile, Pixel inside of Trophy could be catching somebody off guard here, primarily Coma, the warden who was playing inside of there. They have spotted him out on the top of Armory Cam. I think he might have gone for a call to see if he could spot out any defenders. And there goes Duminsky inside of stage. It goes down first. Fear now aware of Pixel's presence inside of the bedroom. He does get drowned out, has to fall back. Doesn't fall back away too far, and it's Coma now, the next one to challenge. He will go down white stairs, and there goes the peek from Pixel. It doesn't do anything. Was that? Oh, no, that wasn't. Okay. They are just sort of collapsing onto site, and now they have control. There are no frost mats to get them where they are here. They took care of all of the defenders that were playing inside of site. They will need still somebody playing upstairs inside of Attic to make sure the Fear doesn't flank them from above. Coma now trying to go through green. The plant is going down. Fear rotating all the way around the map. And from a prone angle, it's Tigo to get the kill onto Coma. It's all down to Fear. In a 1 versus 4, they have the hatch control. They still have the player prone inside of green. There's one behind the stage, behind an Ossa shield. Peeking and playing with his life. Can't really do much. Those track stinkers will make it so that he can't really push this way either. He will have to push onto the left side of the breach. One of them is rotating through green into kitchen, but it's Axial from the hatch to get the final kill. But another round on the board for EKO, and we are at 2 apiece. What a game this has been so far. I think HILUX definitely had a really good chance there, but once they lost their players inside of sight, and especially losing the EKO first and foremost, made it really, really difficult to try and deny that plant or try and deny the take that they had on the site, and it just became impossible at that point. They will be going back down to laundry and supply room, which is the basement site. Hopefully it goes the way that it did for them in the second time that they tried to defend it, as opposed to the first time that they tried to defend it. They overextended, they lost their ones, and they lost the round. The second time they tried to defend it, they were a lot more active in the way that they were playing. They went for the exact same extended roam, and everything was the same, except they were a lot more active and a lot more confident in their ability to pick up kills. That carried on for the next round as well. I think it might have carried on for the most recent round as well, but it just wasn't enough, especially losing the people on site. So hopefully they will have another explosive round. So far it's mostly Sludzy and Fear picking up the kills, which really, you know, it's a good thing that your roamers are picking up the kills, but when you have such a high roaming presence, the fact that not all of your roamers are picking up the kills, and it, you know, it's not because you're winning the rounds otherwise, could become a problem come the second half, because of course roamers tend to then translate as well into entries, and so if your entries aren't picking up the kills when you've already lost a few rounds in the first half, that's when it could start spelling trouble. Coma's already been drawn down. I'm not sure if he's aware of that or not. They are challenging onto him inside of kitchen. I think they will also be trying to go for him from upstairs as well. I'm pretty sure he's alone here. Does a few pot shots, and it's not Fear to get the first kill. That's the Habana off the board. Any hard breaching that they might have wanted to do is now gone, and that's also the diffuser lost on top of the roof, with Fear still looking down onto it. They know exactly where it is. Oh, Coma getting challenged from two different people in the same angle, can't really get the kill. And now I think that's Sledzy inside of oh no, he dropped away down the hatch. He was inside of security, dropped away down the hatch, and now 4 versus 4 with a little bit more than 90 seconds left to go. EKO are in a pretty good position to maybe try and go for an attack here, but having lost their hard breacher, this is going to be a lot harder, considering now that they can't really open up too many angles, can't really open up too many walls. If those hatches are soft again the way that they were last time, which I do believe that they are, considering that they've used these reinforcements upstairs and for the roam, they can still open up the hatches with the help of those soft breaches. And of course, with that echo cam being with cams in general being hacked by the Dokebi, there goes the kill from Axial onto Duminsky. There goes another Sledzy in a really bad position. Pixel with another one elsewhere, and it's Axial to pick up a 3K inside of Freezer, and a round that was just looking so much like HILUX just completely fell apart. Everything the Fear had done, killing the hard breacher and getting that diffuser down on top of the roof, was nullified when Axial was able to get a 3K inside of Freezer. I think that all three of those players inside of Freezer or peeking onto Freezer made the same mistake of peeking Freezer in the first place. The person that was playing all the way onto laundry machines didn't need to peek because they knew that the warden was still inside of Freezer and they can't really push the Freezer, can't peek those head holes, can't really do anything until the Freezer player has been dealt with. So unless they are distracted and looking at the warden, you don't peek. You don't have to peek. You hold on to that position, but you don't have to peek. When the warden says, they're pushing me, they're swinging me, that's when you swing onto the peek holes, because that's most likely when they're going to be looking the wrong way and expose their head, and you can get the kill. But instead, he was the first one to peek, and then it was Sledzy on top of the boxes inside of Freezer, the next one to fall down, and I think he was expecting Axel to be so close, and then Dimute just peeked onto the head holes completely unnecessarily again, because of course the position that he was playing was on that shield, and that shield is a really, really vital position, and again, there's no way for him to see you from those head holes if you're playing that shield. So just play that shield, wait for him to push the Freezer door and get the kill. Instead, they just all peeked him at the same time, gave him the freeze kills of his life, and won the round for EKO. They are going back into, or they're going to, they're going back upstairs again. This is a round that they won pretty confidently. They just kept getting those kills and kept getting them, and it ended up being a 1 versus 4 or 5 for Tigo, who just wasn't able to win it. So hopefully this time it works out better for them than the third time that they tried to defend the basement site. Sledzy again getting challenged onto inside of Trophy with that shield and those my magnets. Tigo covering up the flanks with those track slingers, of course. You know, in a lot of situations, Nomad is really preferable as far as flank watch goes. But Gridlock is really not too shabby. Of course, if they want to go without a sound cue, they will take damage. Otherwise, they have to give quite a loud sound cue of just shooting those. Coma narrowly avoiding his life inside of Kitchen, as Pixel was aware of his presence inside of Kitchen. There goes Fear with the kill onto Tigo. There goes the Gridlock down. Not before placing all of her track stingers down already, and Fear getting very, very aggressive onto the Maverick on the breach. I think he might have killed both of them on that same breach. Maverick goes down. There goes the other hard breach, and the Echo is giving trouble to Pixel. The Yana trying to fight for her life inside of Classroom. It's all down to Psych now. Wow, what a shot from Psych from the bedroom balcony to get 1 kill. Still has 4 more left to go. Shoots out that Echo drone. Sledzy peaks, loses quite a lot of HP. now stuck inside of Trophy. 2 nades still in pocket. That was a C4 from below, doing quite a lot of damage to Psych. I cannot believe he's not dead, to be honest. And now, with 3 of them still left to kill, all of them on full HP, I think there's still a lot of those Vulcan canisters to get blown up as well. He does have 2 grenades, but they're just gonna waste a little bit of time and give away his positioning. He's breaching a lot of these walls, trying to gain access into somewhere, and it's Coma with a peek all the way from top of White Stairs through the wall and through the door to get the final kill, pull up another round on the board for HILUX, and finish this round on finish this half on even ground. It's 3 apiece as we head onto the side switch. So, quite differently to the way that HILUX played, where they treated the basement site as their primary site, EKO will be going upstairs first.
Attackers need
It
to
is
locate
the
and defuse bombs.
kids and dorms defense. It's actually really interesting the fact that HILUX treated the basement site as their primary, considering how much more confidently they won the top floor hold compared to the basement hold. But hopefully they have just as good of a time attacking it. Now, this is where some of what I was talking about does come into play, where Coma was one of the roamers on the side of HILUX, and he is yet to really find success as far as kills go. So far, it's Fear just having a really good time and a really good game getting those kills. But considering that Coma will be playing that entry again, of course, alongside Fear, not being able to get kills when you're on entry could really be a problem, because that is what you're supposed to be doing. Of course, Fear is also playing that second entry, so he could be getting those kills and filling in, but you really need both of your entries to be able to hit their shots and get those kills, because that is when your team really thrives. Quite a different line I've seen from both of these teams. They're bringing the Thermite in place of the Habana. They are bringing the Thatcher, of course, whenever he's on the board. There's really not a lot of reason not to bring him, other than on maps where he's really not that necessary. Coastline comes to mind, but he's not even in the competitive pool, so we don't have to think about it. Finally, those... wow. What I'm not even sure where Pixel got that from. Oh, was that a run out from Pixel? I think that was really unfortunate. Just when he got off the cams, I think that was a little bit of teamwork between Axial, the Solus, and the Jaeger inside of Small Tower. They saw Coma on the drones. They knew exactly where he was. There goes the jump out. There goes the kill just when he got off the drone as well. So that was really unfortunate there for Coma to be that opening pick and to put HILUX on a bit of a back foot, especially when those grenades are now gone and not in play anymore. Those infinite drones are also gone. They are trying to push up into Attic. And there goes the breach. I think that they are using Buck's can openers to open that. Yeah, they are. And they will be using the exothermic charges on the main wall. They already used one. I'm not sure if it got tricked, shot out, or if they just used it on something else that I'm not aware of. But minute only left to go, and those frost traps is really now when they could be trouble. I was saying that they finally got spotted out, but they didn't get shot out, so they could really be causing trouble. Axial with a flank to get 2. There go Dominsky, and there goes Sledzy as well. It's all down to Philo and Fear. The diffuser now called on the ground inside of Closet, getting challenged onto from multiple angles. That frost mat as well at the bottom of this drop could be causing trouble. I do believe that there's a frost trap there. It's a free default one. Fear getting shot at by Axial, and it's all down to Philo inside of the Attic. Can't really push into them. Can't get the diffuser down either, seeing as they have complete control over it. 1 versus 5. It will be a miracle if he can pull this off.
15 seconds.
It'll have to be an ace. And there goes Axial with another kill. I think that might have been a 4K there for him. And a flawless round on the board for EKO Esports. they really played this well. I think that the Solus pick really worked out well for them. I don't know if HILUX just didn't have enough information about how much Solus, how much Eco brings Solus, or if they just thought that they'd be fine about that. But that was really unfortunate because I do think that they got the flank onto the Thermite and the Thatcher because of the Solus again. They were, I do believe that they were below. They saw the exothermics get placed and the EMPs get placed as well, and then they just pushed up those stairs. And of course, there was Pixel right in tow with Axial to get the refrag should Axial die, which is exactly what you want from your roamers. We saw them playing together, almost like a little tandem bike. So yeah, that was really well done from Eco. Hopefully, Team HILUX have a better time attacking onto the basement side. I don't think they really got to see
5 seconds to go.
too much of HILUX in that round. I think that losing their entry that early on put them on a back foot, and they just sort of got lost because although they only really lost the round once they got flanked on, they wasted so much time even by that point. Axial now challenging inside of small tower, gets one, gets two. Oh no, that is really bad. Again, losing their entries immediately is not what you want at all. I don't know if they completely misdroned him or just thought that they have the jackals so they can get the kills. They can just find the footsteps and find him that way. But of course, just one scan, or not even a full scan, but just one look with the glasses of the Solus, and he was able to see that they had a jackal. He was able to see exactly where he was. He knew there was another play on the window, and it just all fell apart for them. They have a pretty good lineup still left. They still have the Lion. They will be able to find, or at least slow down a flank coming out later. They have the Ying, no Warden to compete against. And they have the Habana to open up angles and those hatches. So this could still be pulled off. We've seen teams win way worse odds with way less time. So they still have time. They still have about 90 seconds left to go. They are opening up these hatches. They're holding on for these flanks. And with the entire defense being situated down on site, they don't really have to worry about any flanks, and they will be requesting a timeout at the end of this round, which I think is a really good call. To slow down the momentum that people are gaining from just winning these rounds, but also just to discuss, hey, this really isn't working out. We need to change something. We've lost the 2 attacking rounds, and it's really not good. Of course, they could still win this again. 50 seconds left to go. 3 versus 5. These aren't horrible odds, especially when they have all 4 of those Candelas in pocket. They still have 3 flashes on the side, or in the pocket of the Hibana. There go the Candelas coming out into blue. It's Philo trying to challenge onto 2 of these angles. It's the Smoke Babes coming out as well, blocking any sort of push. There goes the drop. There go 2 kills. There goes another. It's all on the Duminsky, and there's nothing he can do. A Psych picks up the final kill. And it's another round on the board for EKO Esports. 5-3 now. EKO put themselves a step away from match point, and this could all be over soon. Team HILUX are taking a timeout to try and salvage something of what's happening. Again, this is just really, so far, not working out for them. They are letting Axial and Tigo, but primarily Axial for the past few rounds, just run over them, and that's really not good. Fear had some explosive rounds in the past, but you really cannot be relying on just one of your players being explosive, especially when he's also the one to die first a lot of the time. And especially, you can afford that a lot less when you're in attack, because of course on defense, even when you lose a player and you're in that 4 versus 5, you're on defense, where the game is just, by the nature of the game, the round is tailored towards you. Even when you're at a severe man disadvantage, even in a 2 versus 5 or 3 versus 5, you're still in a way better position than the attack ever will be with those same numbers. It's very, very rare to see an attacking team be in a 2 versus 5 or 3 versus 5 and it is able to pull off and execute well. It takes a lot of coordination, and it takes a lot of just picking up the kills. It takes a lot of taking the enemies by surprise, getting the kill, getting the next one, flicking onto them, hitting those shots, and that's something that HILUX have been struggling with this entire game so far. Coma, their roamer, was not able to really capitalize off of the roam, died first a lot of the time, and then now he's the entry, and they pretty much just gave themselves away, both him and Fear. And for the entire remainder of the round, it was all down to Filos, Lenzi, and Dominski. And, when you don't have any hard-hitting players in that lineup either, it really becomes a problem.
5 seconds to go.
I do have to bring back the fact that this is a very, very new roster for HILUX. They just finished tryouts a couple weeks ago. So they don't really have too many strats in their back pocket at the moment. So they are really just trying their hardest for all of them to not necessarily be the carry, but to just do their job and try to just win the rounds. And it could just be an off day. Who knows? Coma could be going absolutely nuts in scrims for the past month, but now it's just struggling, which is really unfortunate to see from these players. So hopefully they turn it around. We've seen teams come back from far bigger losses. But anyway, 45 seconds have already gone of this round. They are taking some map control. And with the kitchen dining defense, the EKO Esports is located quite a bit on the top floor. They've brought the castle to deny any, or actually, is that meeting? Why did I think it was kitchen dining? I don't know. It's kitchen meeting. They are playing upstairs with that castle, have that hatch open, and have the Cade as well to deny that breach getting opened up, at least deny it getting opened up soon. I think they will be going for the breach. There we go. So the breach is droning a little bit, and there we go with the EMP charge on the wall, exothermic to open it up. 90 seconds left to go. That wall is open up. That I think might have also opened up the one below. Or no, there we go. That opens up the one below. 5 versus 5. No one's died yet. And we saw EKO Esports do this when they were attacking onto this site. They sort of just flooded onto the stage, and of course, without there being an echo on the side of EKO, this could be really, really good. And how ironic that the Umai dies to a frag grenade. The IQ spotting out as many of these magnets as possible, holding on to an angle, cannot quite see. There goes the diffuser, goes down as Tigo picks up the kill into Dominski. And in this bookshelf is Tigo. He could be getting some kills. He does get one. Velo gets the trade onto Axial. Pixel now rotating up the basement stairs, up these blue stairs. That could be a problem. I don't think that they have any drones or anything to cover off that flank. This could be a problem if Pixel is able to get this flank off, and I think that he will. There goes the kill from the flank. There goes the diffuser down. They do get the refrag. 2 versus 2. There goes another kill. There goes Pixel. And now in a 1 versus 2, it's all down to Tigo to try and hold on to this. He doesn't really know where they are. There goes the cross. Philo with the kill. Picks up another round for HILUX. They really did that well. They were a little bit slow in setting that up. They were really well paced in the sort of like the beginning to the mid round, where they drowned everything out that they needed to. They got those walls open, and then they stalled, and that allowed EKO to pick up a kill. And then, of course, not having anything to watch for that flank was really, really an issue. They needed to have either a person, or especially if you have a person dead at that point, have those drones. Drones are incredibly useful in this game. Of course, by that point, they could have been shot at. I didn't look at the side of HILUX to see how many drones they still had alive. So it could have just been that they wasted all of their drone utility, which honestly doesn't make that situation any better. In fact, it makes it worse. The fact that you are using so much of your drone utility, but you're not capitalizing off of anything that you're finding with it. That really could be an issue.
5 seconds left.
But they execute, well, not so much the execute, more so the execution of Psych, or of Tigo, apologies, ended up working out for them, and getting those refrags, that was really, really good. But they're just going to have to repeat it more and more. They're going to have to be there for those refrags. They cannot allow themselves to be in a position again where one of their players dies, and then the person that's supposed to refrag dies as well. That cannot happen for HILUX anymore if they want to try and win this. They are a step away from equalizing the scoreline and doing something here. Axial getting droned out quite a bit, shoots out 2 of these drones. Again, it's the Solus that could be causing trouble for HILUX. They are bringing the IQ this time, and there goes the kill from Philo all the way upstairs inside of the tower. That is a really, really good opening, and now all of the trouble that they faced before against the Solus is nullified, of course, seeing as the Solus is dead. And of course, that is the top frag on the side of EKO. They still have Tigo, who has picked up quite a few kills, but hasn't been as explosive as Axial was. Axial, I think, has had the most multi-kill rounds of anybody in this lobby at the moment. So clearing off a player with that much confidence is really, really good for HILUX right now. They are getting those walls open. Pacing is a lot better. They are putting out those smokes as well. There goes the jump in through the breach, and Sledzy now stuck inside of this little corner. Dominsky taking a little bit of damage on this wall. Of course, it will be just the breach. And that's the smoke just peeking straight into it. Fear with the kill onto Pixel. 3 versus 5. He just pushes straight into Trophy. But again, I'm worried about this smoke being where he is. There goes the kill onto Dominsky. He's able to push all the way back into site. Tigo taking a lot of damage. Philo does pick up the diffuser again. And I think that is Enjoy Your Life still prone inside of the breach. I think he will be getting drowned out here in a second, or at least I hope so. Psych holding on to the other side of the map. There goes, oh, he didn't drown him out. He didn't drown him out, but a couple trades go out. Ledzy down to a frost mat. It's all down to Fear. Diffuser is lost inside of the breach. Can he get the kill onto Enjoy Your Life? He cannot. There goes the down. It's effectively a 1 versus 1.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
I think that Sunzi will be trying to go into Attic, or maybe just trying to go into Trophy. Try and get the res back up onto Sledzy. Taking a little bit of damage onto that door. Psych peeking up every angle, denying anything that Fear could possibly be doing. There goes the C4 rip. Doesn't catch him. 10 seconds left to go. There goes the nade rip as well. Oh, and unfortunately, Fear just cannot get that clutch. It's Psych to clutch it up instead, putting EKO on match point. It's 6-4. HILUX have wasted their timeout. They did turn it around a little bit after the timeout, considering that they won the round, even though it was very shaky to get that round win. That totally could have been their round. That totally could have been their round. HILUX now calling for a tech pause. I think I might be having some issues internally as far as connection goes. You know, it's just Siege. Sometimes it happens. But EKO calling it not legit on that one. You know, Siege is just Siege. You know, glitches and bugs happen all the time. I can't even count how many times I've had to restart my game mid-game, especially in a situation like this where it's like 6-4 and it's like, oh shit, I really don't want to be yeah, I really don't want to be resetting it now. But anyway, so it could just be a thing. I'm sure that EKO have also had it at some point in the past as well. Anyhow, yes, HILUX really need to pick it up here. They really need to get together and get those kills. I think the issue again there was the lack of droning. We saw, I think that was Philo just droning so much and still somehow managing to not drone out Enjoy Your Life prone in the breach and losing his life to that. Also droning out so much for that entire team and not spotting out the frost mat at the bottom of the attic drop. So using their drones but not capitalizing off of those drones, and then just not being there for the refrags. The only rounds really that they were there for the refrags for each other were the rounds that they won. And now all of a sudden they aren't winning because they aren't there for the refrags. This could have been an equalizer round if they had been there for the refrags. If when Dominski had died inside of that breach to the smoke, just pushing out, if Philo had been able to get that refrag, I think that is more than likely a HILUX round. But unfortunately, considering just how much time they had and the operator lineup that they had, although to be fair, if they hadn't spotted out the frost mats in this case, I wonder whether they would have drowned it out then or spotted it out then and shot it out to not lose a player. There's a lot of coulda, shoulda, wouldas in this case, I think, for HILUX. And now that they're going to be attacking back down onto laundry and supply, the basement site, this time against a warden. So, if they do end up bringing the Ying again, that might not work out as well as it did before. Although it didn't really work out all too well before either, because despite all of the Yings or all of the Candelas, the drop players still got killed. In any case, if HILUX wants to win this, they need to pick it up. Philo finally returns. They will be finishing up the attacker picks. Of course, they aren't really secure at the moment because of attacker repick. So anything that they pick could still be different. EKO do not have that same luxury. The operators that they pick, they are stuck with. And yeah, I mean, that was a really, really good round there from HILUX. I think also, now that I looked at the lineup of EKO, the fact that they were managed to kill Solus that early on meant that they had more sort of flexibility in the way that they were playing, because they took out a player that has been really, really explosive so far, and they also took away the Solus that had caused trouble to them before whenever they were using their gadgets that were electronic and got spotted out. So
Attacker's objective is to
yeah, I'm really not sure how this is going to turn out. Pretty similar lineup again. Actually, I think it's the exact same lineup here coming out from HILUX, and of course, the more, or it's actually not, and they had the Jackal last time in place of the Dokebi, which I do think that is a much better roam clear operator at the moment, just because of how strong she is. Of course, the DMR, she has the pocket impact EMPs or smoke grenades, depending on what you want. She has the Gun 6 as well, so she's really, really good. And of course, those calls can be a lot better for roam clear, considering that, you might not see those footsteps till it's too late. Like, for example, Axial is up on the hatch. We have no way of knowing whether he was ever even downstairs, so they could just never, at least on that side of the map, so they could just never spot out those footsteps. But the KB call can be heard through floors, so they would be able to know, hey, there's someone here, be careful. But they will be challenging onto the top floor as well. They will be trying to seek out Axial, the Solus, and unbelievable, the two tech operators that can see electronic gadgets through walls. It's IQ versus the Solus, and it's Solus that wins that particular engagement. I don't think the combo was even engaging, he just sort of was there. But he does get the trade, but not before losing the IQ, who could really be an issue if they are not aware of there being warden or where those mine magnets or those ADSs are placed. They could just be using a little bit of the losing a little bit of this utility, especially now that they've only got a minute left to work with. I mean, look at how much time Axial wasted. He did lose his life, but he picked up a kill and wasted so much time. They do hack those cams, so they will be having a little bit of intel onto the site. Not a whole lot, considering that they don't have an EKO, or of course they can't have a Valkyrie, but they don't even have any bulletproof cameras to deploy either. Fear will be challenging onto Psych, or Psych will be challenging onto Fear. Inside of Freezer, it's Fear doing a little bit of chip damage onto Enjoy Your Life. Can't really get the kill. Does he know that Psych is pushed up? I don't think he does. There goes the grenade. There goes the swing. There goes the kill. Fear picking up another one. There goes Psych, goes down. 20 seconds left to go. 3 versus 4. They're going to have to push in. They're going to have to be very, very explosive. There goes the kill. Fear. Plant going down. Slezzy taking a little bit of damage. Enjoy Your Life swings onto the planter. Gets the kill. 2 versus 3. The Dokkaebi drops. There goes the kill. It's all about the Pixel to try and deny this. There goes the plant going down again. They know exactly where he is. The plant will go down. Time will run out. Pixel will have to go up against 2 of these players. The plant now down. 1 versus 2. The HP advantage is in the hands of Pixel, but of course the man advantage is in the hands of HILUX. There goes Fear rotating all the way inside of Freezer. Pixel, I think, is aware of that rotate happening. He will be peeking up onto the Freezer. He knows that the diffuser is down behind the shield. That might protect him from the Freezer player. 20 seconds to go. He will have to go for this plant, or for this diffuse soon. And there goes the cross. HILUX pick up another round. Put themselves a step away from equalizing the scoreline and putting this all the way into match point. What a round. That was, if there ever was a time for Fear to get explosive, this was it. Despite the time that Axial wasted, despite the kill on Tacoma again that they got, they managed to pull off that round, in large part due to Fear getting in, getting that first kill onto Sight, getting the kill onto the Jaeger, and then the rest of the team combining to get a few more of those kills, being in a 2 versus 1 with just enough time to get that plant down. And of course, had Pixel been anywhere closer, other than where he was all the way in Shaco/Blue, that could have been a lot different. If he had been, well, I don't think if he had been in Freezer, he wouldn't have been able to do anything because of that shield, and they would have had the cross. So that was really, really well executed. That shield came to hurt EKO, and I'm not sure if Axial is just hunting drones on this front door, if he's trying to go for a spawn peek run out type of situation. Of course, in competitive, it is an illegal move to go for a spawn peek until 3 seconds have passed. 2 or 3 seconds? I think it's 3. So that would have to be quite a nasty run out there for Axial. And again, wasting so much of that drone utility for HILUX is Axial. They've brought, again, that Dokkaebi, and hopefully they don't waste as much time as they did before on trying to clear out Axial, because, you know, there's no telling that they will be able to clutch the round the way that they did, and this is the one round that they really, really need. They're attacking onto a site that they've lost before, and they've won it before, but through the skin of their teeth, they're going to have to really, really make sure that this round ends up being theirs. They're droning out. They know that that hatch this time is closed. Last time it was open, and they knew that there was a player up there. So they wasted so much more of their time. Like 3 players peek onto that window. He gets the kill onto Coma. I feel bad. So many deaths for Coma, but now they have him locked up inside of the small tower. Just go for a nade from below, and they will be flashing him out. He can't really do anything against that on very low HP as well inside of there. They will be just completely leaving him there while they push up further, and they will be holding on for the flank. They're trying to shoot him from below, and again, wasting so much time. They've already wasted so much time. Nearly 90 seconds. They're wasting so much more of that drone utility as well. There goes the grenade from below. It will not catch him. He just runs away from it. They're doing so much vertical damage. Can't really get the kill. Fear has to be looking up through those holes, because the holes that he made will be the death of Axial, and they finally get the kill. They waste 90 seconds of this round, allow more of EKO to get up onto that mid floor and to cause some trouble. I think that might be Warden on top of the back stairs. Yep, that is Warden on top of the back stairs. If he gets misdroned here, that could seriously be spelling trouble for HILUX, and they do not drone him. They droned out this bit. They will be going for the drone now. Oh, no! Oh, no! Okay, there we go. That might have been a bit of trouble there from Pixel having shot that drone up, because I don't think that the drone saw him at all, wasting that C4, trying to rotate back into attic. He will be getting challenged onto by Sledzy inside a bedroom. They get the kill, but look at the time, people. Only 35 seconds left to go. They did clear out those roamers, but they still have 2 smoke babes to contest against. They have all of those ADSs still in place. They have those barricades down, so they will know when they're coming, and they have those mirror windows to try and come up against as well. 20 seconds left to go. They will have to go for the hatch drop. There goes Tigo inside of tarps that could really ruin this for HILUX. They will have to go for the best round of their life. There goes the hatch drop. There goes, I think that might have been a smoke canister. The plant is going down inside a site. I think that might be inside a default. Sledzy with the kill. Tigo getting 1. Site can't quite catch the planter. There goes the C4 from Tigo to get 2. And the round is over. Oh, that is so unfortunate. EKO win it 7-5. Seconds away from glory. If that planet come down, I don't think that there's a way that HILUX lose that, but so unfortunate. Oh my lord. That was, wow. What a shame there from HILUX. They really had that round. But did they really? Considering how much time they wasted nearly 2 minutes trying to clear out the roamers. They first wasted almost 90 seconds trying to clear out Axial inside a small tower, and then they wasted another 30-40 to boot trying to clear out Pixel inside of attic. It's a really poor pace round there from HILUX, and I think that was themed sort of across the board for them. Really unfortunate loss there, but also credit where credit is due. EKO really played their hearts out. Axial going absolutely nuclear, as did Tigo. They both got well over double digits kills wise. The rest of the team weren't too shabby either. They were doing their job. They were playing their positions. They were doing a killer job on the roam, and there was just very little that HILUX could do with such little time on the board. I guess if I had to pronounce player of the game, I don't think that we could call anybody else other than Axial. I mean, just so many multi-kill rounds where he was basically the deciding factor in whether HILUX stand a chance or whether they're just completely obliterated. And for the most part, they were completely obliterated. So, there you go. EKO Esports beat HILUX 7-5, just seconds away from glory. And Axial, the MVP for this matchup. We'll be going off now for the stream. Thank you all for watching. I think we might still go live again in a little bit time, in about an hour, maybe more, with another game. I think it's actually about an hour and a half. We might be going live again with the game. Again, that's emphasis on might be, we might not be. So keep your notifications on if we do go. Again, join the Discord if you want to know when we go live. I've been Retro. Thank you for watching, and have a good night.